my new thing in LA is when people are like, what have you been up to? I'm like, nothing. Making nothing cool, you know?
Yeah.
Because everybody's like, well, and they reach into the archives of what they've been doing, and it's like, you just made that up just to sound, I don't care. Like, I actually don't care. Like, are you okay, you know?
Whenever I see Danny, I give him like a 5-minute intro on the guest. I love name dropping. I'm obsessed.
Oh, yeah?
Are we rolling? Okay.
Wait, can you see my feet? I'm hanging off the ground. I think I need people to think
I'm leaving
tall.
this in the episode. God
I need
damn
people to think I'm tall.
Okay, you guys, I cannot contain my excitement. First of all, it's episode 10 of House of Royale, but our guest today, she's kind of our first celebrity. And before I even say her name, we walked into WTF Media Studios today, and I would just like to do a shout out to Adam Devine because I just saw your movie, Outlaws, and it's amazing. I walk into the studio, and Danny's over there, and just casual Adam Devine and Neil Brennan, and I'll save that story for our guest. So you guys, please welcome superstar. I'm going to read this because it needs to be heard. Australian singer-songwriter Zenya has shared the stage and studio with the likes of Justin Timberlake, Jay-Z, Demi Lovato, Boyz II Men, Shaggy, Stevie Wonder, and many, many more. Alessia Cara, too. Now she is poised to take over the stage on her own. Born and raised in Newcastle, Australia, Zenya is also a master Reiki healer, and that's all I'm going to say. Please welcome Miss Zenya.
Everybody take seats.
Yeah. Zenya, you are so gorgeous.
Thank you.
Like,
likewise, Mama takes one to know it.
How do you walk the streets in LA? You don't. Please, you just don't.
I just like to stay in my little place or at the studio and work.
Do you have bodyguards yet?
Not yet.
But you've experienced having bodyguards.
I've experienced other people's bodyguards and just acted like they were mine.
Yes. Ugh, women, we all need bodyguards. Also, really quickly, in the spirit of the new movie Barbie, we just want to vibe out and be our own Barbie vibe today. And I didn't even tell you I was going to do a Barbie vibe. You just came dressed like a freaking Barbie.
I feel like I'm Malibu Barbie. Or like if there's like Hawaiian Barbie or something like that. Oh,
yeah.
Something like that.
I love it.
Yeah, beach Barbie.
And you know what? Women, I feel like these days we dress like this on purpose to prove an effing point that we can dress like this and also be taken seriously and also have business meetings and also make millions of dollars. We can still wear outfits like this.
It's called flirt convert.
Oh, really? What's that?
You just, look cute and the deal's done.
That's how you close a deal.
Mm-hmm.
You heard it here. Where do you want to start? There's so much to talk about with you.
I mean,
you grew up in Australia, first of all.
I did.
I've never been.
It's a beautiful place. It's like, it's so far away from everything. So like the time difference is crazy.
Yeah.
The people are different. The beaches are beautiful. It's just a lot more lackadaisical and just kind of easy
But the
going.
kangaroos, though, like the kangaroos are strong.
They are, but it's not like you really encounter them like that. You do see them, but you don't encounter them like, I mean, I just tell people like, oh yeah, I used to go to school in a kangaroo pouch because my mom couldn't take me. Like I just tell people anything because people believe that here,
Yeah.
So, I tell people I had a pet crocodile or whatever.
Okay. So you guys at school, the kangaroos wouldn't like run up to you guys or like.
No. But you can see them. They're like wild and you do see them. It's like if you see a field with cows, you're most likely able to see kangaroos that would be in the bush. They're pretty common.
Interesting.
But you don't encounter them like that.
Near the cows?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, and they get along?
I mean, I think they vibe out. They get it.
Okay, cool. So where did music come from? Like, do you have musical family members?
So I feel like everybody's musical to an extent. Like everybody loves music. There's not one person that doesn't love music. In my family, it wasn't a music family. My grandfather, who was my father's stepfather, he used to sing like Broadway, like plays and things like
show
that.
Tunes.
Yeah, not Broadway here, but shows. But he wasn't related. So I don't know really where it came from vocally for me, but I'm really a fish out of water.
Wow.
Yeah. I have 4 older brothers and lots of people in my family. I'm the only person that sings. Only person that does. Yeah. A lot. They're like older than me too. So like 9 years older and then 13 years older and 2 in between. So I was like the baby.
Did they push you to do sports or
they just push my buttons?
Girl? Oh, okay. But I'm wondering psychologically, like if you grow up with 4 older brothers, you almost want to like retaliate and be a girly girl as opposed to being like what they're doing, or
I kind of did want to do what they were doing. Like I remember I used to like want to take my shirt off and play football with them. And Mom's like, that's not what little girls do. I'm like, okay. But they did allow me to be a girly girl. So
nice.
Yeah.
I love
They were sweet to me, but they also poke fun of me. So I have thick skin because of them, So.
Good. And they protect you.
Yeah,
kind of.
Much. Yeah. I mean, I guess we all did our own thing. We're all pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all did our own thing. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
I just want my brothers to hear this from you. That's why I'm.
How many brothers do you have? So
they protect you.
How many brothers do you have? 2?
I have 2. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We went through crazy shit though, so I cut them slack.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we all do.
Yeah, family is interesting, complicated thing.
I think the thing I was talking to my friend about the other day is everyone in your family thinks they're the black sheep. Every single person, like, I'm the black sheep. And it's like, no, I'm the black sheep. No, I'm the black sheep. Yeah.
That would ring true for my brothers and I, for sure. I think all 3 of us think that we have like the best story, or like we were the victim, like definitely, for sure.
When you all were to an extent and weren't at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no one musical in my family really like that. They just dabbled in a bit of guitar or whatever, but I took it serious. I took it super serious.
Did you learn how to play instruments at a young age?
Yeah, I learned how to play guitar, learned how to play violin. And then at Christmas, my parents started just to give me a new instrument. And then I would just learn the instrument. I was just musically inclined. So I was always writing songs. I would just hide in my room and write songs. God. Since I was 9, I've been writing full songs.
That's
and
amazing.
Composing them. So
that is one thing I wish that my parents did, is give me a guitar, because I grew up competing as a dancer. My mom had 3 dance studios.
Yeah, it's not too late.
Yeah, I know. Well, I've obviously given it a shot a few times, but I'm such a dancer. Like I'm such a performer, and I have ADD like and so it's so difficult for me to sit there and do it.
Yeah.
Do you have any tricks for like women that are learning guitar right now?
Actually, my tricks are different tricks than most people would talk about, because I also vocal produce other artists and develop other artists. And I would say the best tricks or tips for learning anything is to be kind to yourself and not expect to get it that day and not expect to be professional that day. And I would say that your subconscious mind is your best friend. So understand, even if you think you're not getting it right then and there, it's massaging itself into your subconscious. And then the next day you'll highly likely be better than the day before.
That's the best advice for somebody like me.
Yeah.
Who just I will put the guitar down if it's not sounding perfect.
My other advice along the lines of that is the fact that you should notice how unkind you are to yourself as you're learning something. You're never that unkind to anybody else.
Yeah.
Not the way that you are to yourself. And that is something that I tell people to observe when they're learning something new, a new skill, or progressing to be better at something. It's to observe how unkind you are to yourself.
Yeah.
That's the thing, that's the threshold that stops you from learning to be great.
That is so heavy. Like, it's so true, especially
Well,
for women.
We've just started.
We have just
Yeah.
started. I mean, I think self-image, especially as an artist, it's like doing a photo shoot can be the most awful experience ever because you don't. You just don't realize how you look on camera. Like, you think you're the hottest thing, and then you look at the photos and you're like,
I know. It's
wild.
very difficult in LA. And you know what? Like, okay, you talk about with women, and I'm so balanced in terms of being kind to men and women at the same time, because we're both going through a lot of learning curves and evolution right now. So I will say, men get out there and they'll just go out on a date and they might be wearing some sweats or whatever, and a girl's like, we put them on a pedestal, and we've tried to dress all this way, and we just can't stop thinking about these guys, and they're in sweats, but these guys know how to own it, and I think we could take a leaf out of their book. I think.
True. I mean, shout out to the men. We love you. We love the gentlemen that love us. We love the men that build us up. We love the men that tell us that we're dope, that we're killing the game. Men that listen. That hear us and really, truly see us. I think communication is like the most difficult thing with men and women. Like, I feel like, especially, my relationships have all been, there's been great moments, but I think it's just in the end, I'm like, this person isn't getting it, and I need to like move on. But also that's such the LA mentality is like,
well, we are in a city it's
bigger, better.
It is different. It's a different dating pool than anywhere else. It's different. And then when you're dating in the business, and then you have to like take accountability for your type. You have to take accountability for what kind of type of guy that you want, but at the same time, what do you expect them to be? Loyal, or do you expect them to be this? Like, we have to take accountability for our choices as well. So it's like each time we go through a relationship with somebody, it's always that simulation of learning a lesson and taking that accountability for yourself.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. I just to get candid, I haven't had since like January, because I went through.
This is candid. Let's go. All right, let me lean in.
I went through like an intense situation last year. This boy, I don't want to say man, I feel like he's still a boy. He told me he was sober and he lied, and I eventually found out, and then it got so bad that I almost had to get a restraining order.
Damn.
Right, and so I met his parents. His dad's a judge. Like, it was so performative, and I believed the story, and I was like, oh my God, maybe I could date this guy. Like, I'm really going to give it a shot, and then this happens. And on top of that, we ended up getting
oh my God.
Right? Like, devastating. And I'm like, so now I'm in danger with.
And how long was this going on?
Not very long.
Not long. Okay.
But
it was intense. It was intense. It's okay.
Yeah. And and so after that happened, I was like, you know what? I retire. I need a break. Like, I don't want to like do the normal thing and rebound.
Yeah.
But of course I ended up rebounding twice with two famous comedians that I will not name. And it wasn't that great. Sorry, guys.
It wasn't funny.
It wasn't good. And I'm like, now I really don't want to do it with anyone.
Right.
And I like put duct tape.
Take a break. Take a breather. Take a just
well,
observe.
I did, but the point of the story is that an ex came along not a couple weeks ago, like last week. And we were both so mature. We totally effed up and we ended up hooking up. But afterwards, we went to dinner and we had a long talk. He is now in therapy.
Beautiful.
And his language and the way that he spoke to me, I was like, okay. So we both know why.
Be healing.
It was amazing to see a man take responsibility and say, I know why I ended up in your bed. I know what I did. I know the tactics that I used. I'm
seeing a lot of that lately, actually. I'm seeing a lot of accountability on both people's behalves, like male and female. The one thing I'll say energetically that's happening right now, maybe some of you are going through this right now, but there is a cycle that's happening where everybody's being faced with a similar situation that they've been through before and given an opportunity to ask themselves, how would I redo this and do it better? So if you're going through that, which it sounds like what you're going through, it's like, how would you redo it? How would you do it better?
Exactly. Absolutely.
This is all the conversation. I know I'm here to talk about music, but these are the conversations that I usually have in the studio. These are the conversations that I have every day with my Reiki clients, with my clients that I'm writing songs for. These are all the topics of the world of what's going on right now. Like, this is what music is made of. This is what movies are made of.
Yeah.
But there is an evolution happening with men and women. We're getting to a better space. And when the women heal their masculine wound, we will learn to be more graceful, and men will feel more safe. And when the men heal their feminine mother wound, they will learn to make us feel more safe, and then we can let our guards down. So there's a responsibility individually for each person to take on healing those particular wounds. And that's not to say that everybody's still going through it, because there's a lot of people elevating into a better space to be greater. And I do meet a lot of people where I'm like, wow, that was refreshing. That was really nice. But I also put myself in a position and a frequency to attract those people too. Because anytime I see people that I'm like, oof, I can already smell what that's going to be like. So I'm like, I'll keep you right there. You know what I mean?
Do you notice artists, like lyrical content, do you see a shift in?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Nice.
A big shift. Yes.
I'm glad because I look for pop records that are like, do you know Queen Herbie? I bring her up every episode.
Maybe. Actually, somebody told me about her the other day. Somebody said that they just met me. They said, you remind me of Queen Herbie.
So she used to be known as Carmen with her husband, Nick. And they were signed to like Republic.
Okay.
And they had a couple hit songs, but they left the label because they were like, ew. They were like, they had the ick from the label situation. But the way that she writes now is like, it's all women empowerment, but it's not cheesy at all.
Right.
Like you feel like.
That's the tricky thing.
Yes.
That is the tricky thing, because I work a lot and deeply in the Jamaican and reggae scene. And so I always say that even about how Bob Marley would write these like revolutionary songs, but now you can't say it the same way. It's not the same time. There's a different language. Yeah. People are not going to want to hear about the children and the people. Like, you have to word it differently. You have to word it in a way where people like, oh, that's got some swag to it.
Right.
So
like, how do you say bad bitch in a dance hall record?
Yeah, I mean, you just straight up say it in a I mean, dance hall, I mean, that's a whole other topic. But so revolutionary music has to sound different. It has to sound deep. It has to have that shadow aspect, and that it also has to have the positive energy to it. So it's like, I think people are just getting a little more personal and vulnerable with their music and exposing themselves and their imperfections. I find that imperfections are starting to become cool.
Yes. Less auto-tune.
Like, no. I meant as in like talking about the topic, not in terms of technically, but I mean in terms of like the topics. Okay. People like, I'm flawed. Okay. And then all of a sudden it's cool to be like, oh yeah, you're fucked up. Like,
yes, absolutely.
That's why I said to you today.
Seen that in songwriting, like it's always been around, but I am constantly hunting, especially for pop records, because I love high energy pop songs. Right. And it's all about a boy. Yeah. Every single song.
That's why I love that movie Frozen, because like her soulmate was her sister or as a friend or a girl, you know, like didn't have to be all about that.
Yeah, or lesbian songs. Like I'm looking for those too, but it's like the lesbians are writing about their girlfriend, and I'm like, oh my God, like it's all about love and sex, and it's like, okay, that's cool, but
I think you just got to tap into where you're at and like stay there. Stay where you're at and just write about where you're at every day. Journal it. Find little segments of what you're saying in your journal and be like, oh, I got to write about that. That's how I feel right now. Right. You know? I think that's important. Yeah. It translates when you record. So I always say to my clients, and when I'm recording, I feel as though when we record, you're bottling up an energy, and then when people press play, they're listening, they're feeling they're there with you
Mm-hmm.
in the moment that you recorded. So bring out that essence. If you're not being real and if it's fake, people will feel that too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know.
Well, and especially for artists, because it's like a professional singer that can like do vocal gymnastics and shit, you're really never going to hear the difference.
I don't care for that.
Yeah. But with someone like Demi Lovato,
Sure.
it's like she has to be passionate about the lyric so that she can like get it out of her gut. And you can tell the difference if she loves it or doesn't.
That's the thing. Like, even people will write songs for other people that are going through something, and everyone will be like, oh, that was about their relationship with that person. But someone was like, I think that's what they're going through. And then the artist will be like, well, this happened. And then they'll switch a lyric, switch a verse up, and then it's catered to them, but it's believable. Like Rihanna. I mean, we know that Rihanna doesn't write her songs. Bless her. She's amazing. Like, she could do anything she wants. But I believe her. Every song that she sings, she's like, no, I felt that.
Yes.
I felt that.
Absolutely.
Like, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just, honestly, I think everybody's getting to that space right now where they're like, oh, I can't keep faking who I am. Did
you happen to see the show The Idol?
Yes.
Okay, because I do want to get into, now that we're kind of in the realm of the industry, I had a lot of girls tell me that they lost sleep after watching because it reminded them of shit that they had been through, and same. Unfortunately, I have had, I really want to go through my contact list and print out a list of men that have done that to me and almost do like exercises and like therapy work on these experiences. And I think it's just like the girls that are out here by themselves without parents or a manager or anything. And that's what happens to us. Is you're in the studio and someone's like, oh, I can help you get a deal, or like, oh, let me manage you, or just whatever the situation is. And because you're so broke and so desperate, I think a lot of times women just get,
you'll accept a little more.
Yeah.
You'll just be like, if I can just dodge this, then I can maybe get to the other side. Or I can maybe get through to actually doing what I came here for. And that's the thing I feel like. I think men have said a lot of things to me in the industry that I didn't realize until later it's sat in my subconscious.
Yes.
Like I remember being at a very big studio in New York, maybe 10 years ago. And I mean like top, everybody knows who these people are. And they were like, these two guys pulled me up downstairs. They're like, come, we want to have a meeting with you, these managers. And they were like, we really like you. Mind you, I wasn't there to ask for any management, to be signed, anything. I was just in the studio, like creating. And they're like, we want to talk to you. And they're like, we don't sign women because y'all just get pregnant. And I was like, cool. Well, I wasn't here for that, but okay. Like, I was like, why are we having this conversation? I wasn't like asking for anything. I was just there. Anyway, so I feel like that stuck with me subconsciously for years because I felt as though if I had children, if I went ahead and had children, it would ruin my career.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that until it came up for me. I don't know, came up through my subconscious and came to the forefront. And I was like, geez, I've had the opportunity to have children. And I know I'd make a great mother, but I've not done it. Why? And that came up. I was like, wow, that stuck with me.
Yeah.
And I mean, I do feel like we all have a responsibility regardless of who we are, but it's just it's a predominantly male scene run by mostly males. And I just, I would just say kindly to really just be cautious of the words that you speak to anyone because they'll stick, especially when someone so deeply wants to get somewhere in their career and wants something so bad. Word everything with kids' gloves, like really word everything very carefully because what you say will stick with somebody. So I'm very cautious of my spells, my words and my spells. So every time I work with a client, I am fully supportive to them. I'm fully there for them. No matter what they're going through, my word is bond. I am there for them. So I feel like I'm grateful that I learned those things because now I get to do all of the things that they didn't do.
Yeah.
And I get to be and help other people through their careers because no one really artist develops anymore. And that's what I do. I like to do that. I've learned so much. I'm a master at my trade. I've done over 100,000 hours of my craft. So I like to help other artists to get where they need to go, not in a way where I'm like mothering them, but in a way where I speak life into them.
Yes.
And that I'm an example to other people for that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, it does hinder us. It can paralyze you.
Yeah, definitely.
And I've gone through that the whole time I've been in LA. You know, I've been through 3 quote unquote record deals. And the first one was like very big and very legit. And it was so devastating. And it honestly had nothing to do with a man hitting on me. What it had to do with was the amount of disrespect and the lack of care and this huge name that had signed me and how much he didn't give a shit about me.
Yeah.
Is just so sad that people don't care. And I'm like, how can you not care? Artists are so sensitive and they literally need to be held and taken care of.
I say this all the time. I actually say this, like, we're such the minority in the world.
Yeah.
We are right-brained. We are totally right-brained. And then in a world full of left-brain people, like all the left-brain people that love music and love creativity and love art and love movies and love comedy, all of that. And, you know, you want all of this great music. Oh, music isn't the way it used to be. Da, da, da. But we're all going through something crazy. Like there's a bunch of right-brained people expected to live in a society that's predominantly left-brain. I'm like, pay for our bills.
Yes.
We must be protected at all costs. Like,
wow.
Please protect us. Please fund us if you see us going through something. We are going to bring you some great content. Just like carry us through, protect us, hold us dearly, because we're a minority.
Yeah, I do have empathy for the men in the industry because it's like, who thought of the idea of putting like the hottest girl locked in a studio with a man? Like, that's the worst idea on the planet.
The energy is flying too when someone's like, and then there's like the whoever's engineering or whoever is producing it, whoever is like,
yes,
the leader, that's the person that gets to tell what to do, and then your ego gets involved, and then you feel like a big man, and then there's someone is like having to listen to every word that you say, and then there just becomes a hierarchy in the studio.
And I'll tell you what, it's like when guys in high school are like, yeah, I learned how to play guitar to get the chicks. It's like, you learned how to produce to get the chicks.
Yeah.
Okay? Like,
I am such a force. I am definitely as feminine as I am very masculine in the studio. I run things.
Yeah.
Run things. Like, I'm not playing. When I walk in there, I know what I want. I know what to tell the engineer. I know what to tell everybody. I'm like, no, I'll do that again. I need it to sound like this. I want this here. Could you put this here? Like, I know what I want at this point.
But they still get off on that. Like, that's hot.
That is hot.
They love it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just mean, like, there's so many different scenarios, and you know, I think it's just artists that have like a long-term situation, right? That's when it can get dangerous. Is if you're in there for a long period of time with the same person, and it's just business, but it does, lines get crossed, wires get. It's frequency, it's energy, it's your solar plexus. It's like it is spiritual.
It's definitely your solar plexus. It's your identity center.
Yeah.
And that's really what this is. It's like, you really need to walk in there knowing who you are.
Yeah.
And that's why I became a Reiki master, because I realized how much people need that opening of their centers and that energy to walk into a place and own exactly who they are.
But let me say this too. I've been saying this to girls, is like, don't go by yourself. Like, I don't think that young girls,
if this is not your forte and you've not done it very much and you're young, I would definitely say if someone calls you for a studio session around 11 o'clock, don't go. You're a pumpkin baby. Stay your ass. I've actually said no to big sessions because men asked me to come after 12 o'clock. And I was like, no, but if you're available tomorrow, I can do it.
Exactly. Like, don't play me for a fool, but also bring a friend. And if they're like, you know, if they try to intimidate you or say like celebrities are going to be there, you have to sign an NDA or whatever. No, like you're allowed to bring a friend. You're going to bring a friend and they're going to be cool with that or else you're not coming. It's when they get these girls alone and the boys too, honestly. And by the way, the parents have no problem pimping their kids out either.
Oh,
I'm sure you've seen that plenty.
I think people need to call me. People need hit me up on my DM. If you're having these issues, hit me up. I got you. I could talk to you about this stuff in an even keel way too, in a very professional way, because I think a lot of people are just a little bit lost and want something too much.
Absolutely. Like the parents want their kid to be famous.
Plan out what it is. What's your goals? Write them down. Plan out what it is that you want, how you want it to look, how you want it to feel. That's the one thing I would say to people. How do you want it to feel? And if you, as soon as you get into that space of knowing how your career and your goals feel ahead of time, sit and meditate in that feeling that you want, because that's all we're ever chasing is a feeling. So if you sit in that feeling, you'll know when you go anywhere else, if it doesn't feel right, you'll know. And then get out. Yeah. That's it. Get out. So
I want to work with women. Like I feel like I'm definitely retired from working with men.
I think you'll work with men. I just think that
eventually.
I think you'll get to that place of feeling that there's some great safety. I work with a guy right now. He's like the most safest person that I know, and he's always looking out for me no matter what. He's always looking out for me, and I actually always commend him on that. I'm like, you make people feel safe. You make women feel safe, and you're an example for how other people should move. So keep being that. I'm always encouraging him, because not that he asked for the encouragement, but I always let him know, like, you're very rare.
You know? Yeah, he is, because
he's become one of my best friends. Just the way he is, I will, anything he asks me to do, like any kind of job, I'm like, yeah, whatever you need, I'll do it. I'll do it. Just because the safety that I get from him is so rare. That's payment in full. Yeah, you know, it's a rarity.
So, like, when you work with female artists like Demi, like, does she have people with her in the studio?
I actually did shows with Demi, so I didn't get to work with her a lot. Yeah. But in terms of studio, I don't know. I don't know with her. Yeah. Studio.
But I just mean at that level, you do have people around you that are protecting you. You know, it's like, it's the artist that can't pay for that shit. Like,
yes.
Yeah, just exactly. In the studio, like, well.
I think it's good to have a little crew that kind of come around with you. And, like, have your friend that's the manager, or have your other friend that's the assistant, and you got kind of move together. I used to do that.
And what about publishing? Can we talk about how writers get chopped out of stuff? And
yeah, I'm pretty stern about that at this point.
Good.
Yeah, I'm stern about that. I've even sent messages to management like, hey, I noticed you put this song out without my name on there, and I vocal produced and arranged for this, and it's my voice. So I'm just wondering, was that a mistake? Are you putting my name on there? Am I being credited, or did you just expect my vocal gift to be gifted, my vocals to be gifted, my talent to be gifted? Let me know. You know, let me know. Oh my God. Because the thing is, like, if they don't want to do it, then move on. Like, I'm like, no chances. Yeah. It usually gets fixed.
Well, I'm going to do a shout out right now to someone that needs to put my publishing numbers on a song. It's not Andrew. Andrew Dawson is like known for Kanye West. He's like a pretty big music producer, but he hooked me up, and I have publishing for a song that's about to come out. Okay. So I would hope that y'all do the right thing.
Let me know.
And add my writer and publisher. Yeah, writer ID numbers. Okay. Right. And children, it's not just your writer ID number, it's your publisher ID number as well. And a lot of artists don't have that. And it trips me out. Yeah. So I just always want to spread that message.
That's who you should get on the show. You should get someone from publishing.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's what you need.
And I also want an A&R, and I want someone that's doing placements for all the biggest TV shows. Like, justice for artists, please, and writers. You know?
Definitely. And also just everybody has a responsibility to get their business straight. Get your business right.
Yeah.
If you don't know, ask.
Yeah.
Like it's a business. As much as creative as you want to be, you have to learn. You have to learn this stuff. And if you don't know, find someone that knows for you and ask them to help you.
Right.
Because it's like if you want to make money from this
exactly.
full time,
exactly.
then you got to get your business straight.
Yeah.
If your business is straight, you don't even really have to be talented.
And the more artists that are asking questions and learning, they cannot screw us over. It's power in numbers. And it's like the writer's strike right now. It's the same thing. It's like we're still...
It's an era of boundaries.
Yeah.
Everybody's just like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not. But, you know, what kind of strike are musicians going to have? Like, I'm not going to release music. Other people are like, cool, if you're not, then I will. You know, so we got to find another way. Strike is not going to work.
Yeah. I mean, Gen Z is like the era of TikTok, right? And like the era of the influencer where you can be an independent artist and just make money through social media and endorsement deals and things like that, which is very scary for the majors because they know that kids can make money without them now.
Well, that's why they sign people that have
From
followers.
TikTok.
That's it. Like, that's really it. You have to do it yourself anyway, so you may as well just start now.
Yeah. So you wanted to get into the indie artist thing, right? Like, I mean, the conversation.
Well, yeah.
Today.
So I'm an independent artist, and I'd say the pressures for me, also I'm a perfectionist, but the pressures for me are that the fact that I have worked with big artists. So I feel like I have the pressure of making something look so good, but I'm like pulling that money out of my own ass. So it's like I have to go work in music to make money to put out my music.
Yeah.
And like, let's just be real. You can look a certain way on Instagram all day. If you can look a certain way, like you're rich, like you're balling, like you're doing it. But if you're an indie artist, no matter who you are and what level you're at, you have to pull some money out for your project to look
so much
good.
money.
And the thing is, you can get favors from people, but people really do need to be paid. It's an energetic exchange. So we need to pay our videographers. We need to pay our producers. We need to pay our engineers. So it costs.
Yep.
It costs money. So that's the thing. Like, I mean, I have a project that I've been working on. I think I'm going to release my first single next month.
Awesome.
I'm so excited. It's just taken so long because I have to front everything. And so I'm like, how am I doing this? Like, let's be real. I got to pay my bills. I got to pay my rent. I got to pay for all these different things to maintain my life in Los Angeles so that I can be in a place that I'm ready to go whenever someone calls me. It's expensive to live here. And then
I just want like family and friends to really hear this because you guys are always like, why aren't you famous yet?
Yes.
And it's like, well, do you have 10 mil?
That's the reason why I said let's bring it up because
yeah.
I'm not gonna pussyfoot around it. It is a real thing. Like, we are not out there doing our thing because it has to look a certain way.
Yeah.
We can't look corny. We have to especially for women, we have to buy our own clothes. We have to make sure we have Botox fillers, our hair done nice. We got all this stuff. Like, if you think, oh, you don't need Botox and fillers, you try standing next to somebody else who's looking really good, your peers that are looking really good. We're side by side with people that are like right next to us here in LA.
Yeah.
So we can't be looking cheesy when we come out, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a serious thing, by the way. If anyone wants to invest while we're talking about this, let me know.
Yeah.
Like, DM me. I'll definitely take some help.
But angel investors, you guys need to understand what the music industry is and how it works because I had one last year and he was like, wait, why aren't you famous? And I'm like, wait, we just did like a promo video for the podcast. Right. Like, you thought that was going to be the thing that like kicks it off. I'm like,
it's not how it works.
Like, I know an artist that just won a Grammy, and I used to work with her, and I know what it cost to get her deal with. Okay, so it's a lot of money, and this person refinanced his house for this person.
Yeah, it's not a game.
Okay,
and that's a really big risk.
And it's political. It's political. Yeah. People are pulling strings. If you know someone, Yeah, it's all of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very expensive. But yeah, the investors need to have their head on straight.
Definitely.
And they need to understand marketing. Like, marketing is a long road. Like, breaking an artist takes a long time.
It does.
You know?
And then it also could just hit, something could just take off.
Yeah.
You know, so I've been taking different routes. I've been taking the route of movie soundtracks. I've been taking the route of syncs, like just all of these different routes where I'm like, okay, I've been singing songs that I would never normally sing for something, but I'm like, I just got to do it. I just got to do it.
I'll tell you right now, if I was your investor and I was trying to break you as an artist, I first of all would bring in a music like A&R to put you with the biggest DJ and do a collab with a DJ and have that go to radio and have you go to like Japan, Europe, and perform that song and just push that song until it's a smash.
DJs are definitely the best way.
Yes.
I'm actually learning to DJ.
Amazing. Yeah. And that too is like, have you do a show with Paris Hilton.
Right.
It's all about how do you market this artist, because every artist is amazing, but it's like, what is that thing that's going to make them go big? Like,
I feel like we're in a little bit different scenes though.
Oh, that's true.
So my scene is like, well, for those of you who don't know me, my scene is more, and I have been in the African and the Caribbean scene for years, like since before I moved to the States. So my scene is a little different. It's just the energy is different and it's almost another world.
Yeah.
So global music is a little different to pop music. And I would say global music is, and especially African and Caribbean music, is definitely fusing into the pop scene, because pop is like, wait, it's got something that we want.
Yeah, it's always been there. Like the fusion stuff has always been around, right? Like even with like No Doubt.
Yes.
You know, I mean, so many artists. But okay, so if you were going to break in your genre, how would you envision it? Like for the investors that are listening, what would you want them to do? What do you think would work?
Well, what I would do with my plan, I would feature with a bunch of different artists. That's exactly what I would do.
Yep.
I have the connections for that. I know the people know that I bring it.
Yes.
So that would be the best way, because it's a cosign and then you build from there.
Yeah.
And then other people want to feature with you.
Yeah.
So you've kind of got to pay your dues in that sense, you know?
Definitely.
So that's my way I would do it.
Who are some female artists in that realm that are like that we would know?
A-Marie.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I like to party.
Yes.
What else we got? In the Jamaican scene, we got Shensia.
Okay.
Do you know Shensia?
No. Like, I need a playlist.
Okay,
you need to give me a playlist.
I got you.
What about MIA? Does she count?
She's global, but she's a little more alternative global, I would say.
Sorry, I put you on the spot.
Thames.
Okay.
Thames.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Tiwa Savage. She's an amazing African artist. Who else? Females. And then you've got your Uncle Waffles. She's like the DJ of Amapiano, so South African DJs. You've got Tyla. She's an amazing artist from South Africa. She's Amapiano artist.
Cool.
But she kind of fuses into pop. She actually just opened the European tour for Chris Brown. So it's really taken over. It's taken over big time. And there's no way you can't dance to it. It's just like feels good.
My friend Johnny was just on Dance 100, and one of the songs for one of the routines, it was Shots.
Oh, wait, Shots by who?
Shots. It's amazing. I love this song so much.
Is it a dancehall song?
Yeah.
Okay, I think.
Okay, so you have a new single coming out. Are we allowed to know what it is?
It's called Bad Wine.
Ooh.
And it's because if you know me, I will whine on the dance floor. I will whine on pot plants. I will whine on your grandfather. I will back it up and whine. Like, that is my thing. So it's called Bad Wine. I've never written a song more true to myself than
And are
this
you going to
song.
do a video?
Yes. Yeah. I'm gonna do a video.
With dancers?
I don't know yet. I
Okay.
feel like I could take center. I feel like
Yeah.
I could just take the stage.
Okay,
but
just you.
I do see like a couple of girls dancing, but I need someone behind me. I definitely need someone behind me.
Like a man.
Yeah.
A hot.
Uh-huh.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Definitely. Someone that knows how to take my bad wine.
Yes.
So this is produced by Keel Stone. He
Nice.
goes by Stone. He's from Jamaica, and yeah, I'm pretty excited about this one. This
So
one
cool.
is a vibe.
Have you ever recorded in Jamaica?
Yeah.
Have you been? Okay, because I met Snoop one time
Mhm.
at Demi Lovato's house, by the way.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and he was telling me about Bob Marley's studio.
Yes. Yeah.
Have you been there?
I haven't been to Bob's studio. Oh,
Okay.
I've been there, but I haven't been inside.
Okay, cool.
Because I mean, I know there's family, so yeah.
Okay, well, Snoop, can you hook it up for Zenya, please? Also, Snoop, why don't you be in her video? That'd be
I
amazing.
think that'd be great. I could whine on Snoop.
Yes.
The height difference might be a little different. I'll just get a little stool and then we'll go from there, you know.
And Sean Paul.
Sean Paul, that would be vibes.
Ooh.
Yeah, nice. Shaggy's a good friend. Shout out to Shaggy. Shaggy's one of my really good friends.
Investors, take notes. Okay. Like, we're just going to do Zenya and Shaggy and Sean Paul and Snoop for one song.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
And then I'll perform at your kids' bar mitzvahs or your grandkids' bar mitzvahs, you know?
Or your grandfather's birthday.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'll whine on your grandfather. He'll love it. He'll live another 10 more years.
Okay, really quick. Shout out to Rebecca, Cardi B.
Okay. Oh, I love this.
Okay, so you're the Reiki Master. So do you want to do like a little...
Let's get some energy on there.
Okay, yeah, you do it.
All right.
Girls.
Feeling the vibes. Look alive. All right. Universe. Source. Oh. Lady Gaga.
That's who you got?
Is that what it says on there? Yeah. Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
It says Gaga.
Yeah. Okay.
So always get told that I look like her. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but
I feel like you look like Cleopatra. Just
thank
like
you. I was Cleopatra in another lifetime, definitely.
It's the magician. Okay. Gaga begins the journey by showing us that both skill and faith are required to truly innovate and change the zeitgeist. She pushes you to speak and live your truth in order to manifest your dreams. And the upright is creation, taking action, discipline, imagination, innovation.
That's about right. It's absolutely in accordance with where I'm at. I would say that. I'm looking at these cards to see if I would pick anyone else. And I like that one. Gal Gadot. I would have definitely picked Gal Gadot.
Hi, Gal. Let's do lunch.
Please. I love her. Every time I watch Wonder Woman,
yeah,
I cry, sob. And I'm like, what's with me? Like, calm down.
Yeah. I really feel like women are coming into power. Mm-hmm. As much gray area as there is, it's just, I'm feeling a difference. And it's women like you who are coming forward and telling your stories and encouraging other women and just frequency in general.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, like our energy, you guys, like manifestation is so real.
Yeah. I will say, I'll leave it on this note as well. I recently did some huge healing over a male in the business that definitely had a hold on me. I don't even know if he even realized he had such a hold on my psyche, like so deeply. And I came to a place, and that's what we have to do. We have to come to a place of self-realization. But I came to a place of self-realization that he was just a figure put there for me, like an illusion put there for me to push through.
Yes.
That's it. It's just the illusion. It's like, it's the distraction.
Absolutely.
Don't let it distract you from what you're supposed to do. And it's easy to say, don't let it distract you, but I'm bringing the awareness to, if you have a person that has stopped you, male or female, but I mean, we're just talking about the men in this particular situation. If you do have somebody that has stopped you, please start to see them each day as an illusion and as a distraction, and that they're like a hologram. You can actually walk right through that. It's like, it's irrelevant. Take them out of your world. They don't have to exist in your world.
Yes.
Just don't think about them. Every time you think about them, push them to the side consciously. Then it becomes a subconscious, and then it becomes a habit, and then you no longer think about them. That's
Amen.
it.
Yes.
Just a tool.
As if this is a simulation, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes it does feel like a simulation.
Yeah.
And we're playing a video game, you guys, and it's like, how do we get to the next level?
It's Sims with emotion.
We own it.
We got this. Just be love. Love, love, love. That's it.
Yes.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for being here.
Of course.
Miss Zenya.